Hi everybody, what's going on tonight? Thought I'd make a little video about Dave Bautista. When I started making videos on YouTube, I did a lot of wrestling videos. I just thought they were easy to make, interesting, and they would have a fan base. So a lot of my interests include bodybuilding as well, wrestling. Just I think these guys have interesting lives. A lot of these guys have crossed over into acting as well. And another one of my interests is health and wellness. Obviously, I make a lot of videos about supplements, those types of things. They always say you should probably stay on one topic if you got a YouTube channel, but I just find that kind of boring. And if I'm not going to be the number one guy on YouTube, so I guess I'm just going to make videos of what I want to make videos about. But Dave Bautista has lost a significant amount of weight. It wasn't too long ago he was doing Knock at the Cabin. Some of you may or may not have seen. I like that movie. I thought the concept was very interesting, and I thought he did a good job in that. But he weighed about 300 pounds for that. And he was recently on Ripa, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, talking about how he lost all this weight with jiu-jitsu and obviously his diet. I think he went full vegan, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know that for a fact, though. But supposedly he's lost about 50 pounds since the Knock on the Cabin, where he was weighing about 300. I think he's floating around 240, 250 right now. Yeah, here he goes, 350. Really big, like over 300 pounds. That's interesting. Now, they got him listed, wrestling, I think they had him listed at 6'6", 320. I don't think he's 6'6". They tend to embellish height in particular, and weight generally as well. That's common knowledge with a lot of wrestling fans. But still, nonetheless, he's a legit 6'3", 6'4", big guy, a huge guy. Again, over here you got him in his heyday as the Animal. Bautista pushing 320 probably. Solid muscle, man. And those of you that understand, what it takes to get that way, takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and some other things. And here he is on the right. Of course, he's 55 now, so it's pretty dramatic. But this happens with age. I made a video about Scott Steiner. Took a lot of heat on that video, so to speak, I guess, but about Scott Steiner being older and losing all his games, all this mumbo jumbo, but which I can completely understand. It was enjoyable deal with all that, though. But here he is on the right. I guess he's been doing jiu-jitsu for quite a while. A lot of these stars get into jiu-jitsu. Of course, we all know that Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and a lot of these, the guy from Tool, Maynard James Keenan, is also a black belt in jiu-jitsu. So a lot of these guys do this on the part, on the down low. It's kind of a trend, I guess, for some of these Hollywood actors, stay in shape, etc. But Dave, really, it's really quite impressive. I mean, you've got a few actors, the main ones being, of course, The Rock, John Cena, and Dave Bautista, that have crossed over into the acting world. A lot of them have tried, but never quite panned out like those three, that's for sure. But Dave been, one of the things about Dave is he's been working pretty steady in Hollywood. First movie, Relative Strangers. My Son, What Have Ye Done? Werner Herzog directed that. That's interesting. Wrong Side. A lot of these are duds, man. I mean, obviously, these are low budget, movies. House of the Rising Sun. But a lot of these guys start that way, man. I mean, it's still quite impressive to get into a movie and then get a leading role, even in a low budget type movie. There's a lot of competition. I did see Riddick. He was in that. He played a bounty hunter. And then, of course, his big break came with Guardians of the Galaxy as Drax the Destroyer. Thought he did a pretty good job. I thought he fit the character well. Those of you that know comics a little bit, the character was a bit different than the comics, as they usually are. Again, he's made some strange L.A. slasher. Never heard of that one. Spectre, though, I remember that. Yeah, Mr. Hinks. He got his nose broke making that movie in an actual fight. Heist. I think I saw that one. Kickboxer Vengeance. That was I think Van Damme was in that movie as well. And he's just been working steadily. Blade Runner 2049, I thought that was a great movie. Small part of that movie, but movie didn't do very well. Kind of was a dud. Critically praised, but just didn't do that well. And then of course Avengers, obviously he was in that. Stuber, that was an interesting movie. I've seen him in some pretty comedic roles. Stuber was one of those. I thought he did a pretty good job. Love and Thunder, that movie was forgettable. Unfortunately, Knock at the Cabin, which I liked. Dune and the Dune movies, smaller part in the Dune movies, but still, I mean, this guy's worked with some big name actors, so good for him. He's turned the corner to become a legitimate Hollywood actor. And he's looking pretty good. Wants to take that weight off, keep it off probably, just to stay healthy. I think as you get older, if you're a larger man, it's difficult when you get older to stay healthy. Your heart tends to work a little bit harder. We all know that. But Dave's been doing what it takes, I guess, what he feels will benefit him and keep him healthy.